Morning to everyone out there. This is Notes. Hope you all are staying safe, staying healthy, staying clean. Pretty cold out this morning, so I'm doing this one from in the laundry room. My usual sitting chair, I drink my coffee at in the morning, roll my cigarettes. It snowed all day yesterday here, day after Easter. All day it snowed. Of course, the day after I plant all my tomatoes and stuff, but they're alright. So I'm doing some research about something I talked about the other day, and I'm going to break it down, and I'm going to start talking about it now, and I'm hoping that some people maybe pass this around, watch this, listen to this. These are facts that I got, sat down, wrote all this down all this morning. I've been up since 6:30 doing all this research on this subject, and I'm not done. This is just the information that I've gathered so far, and I'm not trying to scare anybody, just trying to put it out there on what's going on during this pandemic with COVID-19. So without further ado, I'm going to give it to you. So what I'm talking about today is food shortages across the country. Milk companies dumping thousands and thousands of gallons of milk. Juice companies dumping thousands and thousands of gallons of juice. You have produce and vegetable companies destroying produce and vegetable goods. You have egg companies destroying eggs, but yet shelves are empty. Okay, pork companies are trying to monopolize and not pay their workers, not try to get the PPE, not try to help them during this pandemic, just trying to make them work. So here's some facts for you. So Smithfield Meats makes up approximately 60% of the pork that is in this country, okay? And beef. They have approximately they make up, I think, 80% of the beef. Now, Smithfield Meats is shutting down all over the country. In South Dakota, their plant tested 350 workers positive with COVID-19. That is almost half of what the whole entire state itself has. There was 130 positive in the Pennsylvania plant. There were positives in the Georgia and Colorado plant. And now Smithfield is trying to keep their doors open and not pay their workers and not give them PPE. The majority of their workers, a good portion of their workers, are migrant workers or illegal. And they can't demand PPE. They can't demand hazard pay. If they do demand these things, what is Smithfield going to do? They're going to call ICE. And then ICE is going to come in and deport these individuals. And then they're going to get COVID-19 regardless, sitting in a detention center somewhere. So that's what's going on with Smithfield. Plus, so these meat packer plants, Smithfield, Hatfield, Boar's Head, things like that, they're pushing to privatize consolidation. Now what this will do, you have 4 companies that I just named. 4 companies control 80% of the beef, 60% of the pork together. They want to weaken merger reviews. This way, when they weaken the merger reviews, it'll also weaken the medical looking reviews to see if these animals passing through have disease or not. Which it sounds pretty much like what China does with their wet markets and meat sales. Just saying. Now, what these meat packers are all trying to do, they're pushing the privatized meat inspection, which has already been done in the chicken industry, okay, which is not a good thing. Now, right now, these meat packers are able to kill 11,000 hogs per 1 hour with 7 inspectors on site. Now, these inspectors inspect the meat to make sure that there's no diseases, communicable diseases, anything like that passing through, okay? That's regulation right now. So that's current law right now, regulation. And it's already too fast. It's already too many to kill in 1 hour. Okay? So what they're pushing to do is have no cap, to where they can kill as many hogs as they want in an hour and only have 3 inspectors on duty. Now, if you only have 3 inspectors and you're killing, let's say, 40,000 hogs or 20,000 hogs, you know something's going to slip through the cracks. We're going backwards on regulations for our food. This is what got us in trouble in the first place. Hello, China. So that right there is bad. And as I said, the workers can't talk about it, because if they talk about it or complain or anything, these companies will call ICE. ICE will come in and take them out. So you got farmers dumping 25 to 30,000 gallons of milk per day. Per day. And this is because schools are closed, restaurants are closed, farmers are having to get rid of and destroy tomatoes, onions, lettuce, like by the tons. And this is because restaurants are closed, schools are closed. These are the main 3 commodities that you put into your restaurants and things like that. But yet shelves are empty. But yet you go to the store and there's no eggs on the shelf. I went to the store to get iceberg lettuce. I couldn't. I had to buy bagged lettuce. You know, but you're destroying food. It makes no sense. If you have no workers, crops die and people get hungry. So here's another problem that's going on. So farmers that we do have here, from Florida all the way to California, part of the United Farm Workers Union, UFWU. Okay, they're calling for hazard pay. They're calling for PPE. They're calling for safer regulations. They're calling for safer work conditions. They're asking for child care. 2.5 million farm workers that work in the field, picking strawberries, picking carrots, picking potatoes, picking what we need to eat, what we get from the grocery store, what we get in our homes to eat, to cook, okay? 2.5 million workers. And they're trying to help feed us, citizens, okay? And guess who is trying to hurt them? If you didn't guess yet, I'll tell you. But if you did guess it, you probably guessed it right. Our government. So, the Trump administration is trying to cut migrant workers and domestic workers' pay. Not offer PPE. Not offer safer working conditions or safer regulations and things like that. Out of those 2.5 million, 1.5 million of them are migrants that come from Honduras, Guatemala, Mexico. They come over, they work visa, and then they go home. The administration, the Trump administration, is holding off on those visas because of the pandemic. So now you have 1.5 million workers that are either in limbo or stuck in another country that can't come here and work. Now, if you don't have workers to work the fields, what happens? The crops are going to die. They can't get distributed. They can't get picked. So then what happens? You have empty shelves. You have people going hungry. You have people resorting to whatever they can, growing their own gardens, going out stealing from people's gardens. Shit's going to hit the fan. That's how I look at it. And our government, federal government, is not doing much to help a lot of people except for saying, hey, here's a paycheck. You know? So, here's a $1,200 check. Enjoy yourself. It's crazy. At this point, eggs have gone up 6 times in sales since the crisis, as well as they've gone up 30% in price. But yet, there are empty shelves, and egg manufacturers, egg companies, and distributors are destroying eggs. I don't get it. Don't understand this at all. What else do I got here? Oh, yeah. Not only. So the United Farm Workers Union that I had mentioned before, they're advocating and trying to get, now they're a union nationwide from Florida to California, and what they're trying to do, like I said, they're trying to get better pay, maybe some hazard pay, some PPE, safer working conditions, maybe some regulations, child care, maybe a little health care benefits better. But what the administration is trying to do is the administration is trying to cut their wages and trying to cut their benefits, but yet have them still go out and work. And here's another one that I saw. So Walmart is blocking people off from buying non-essential products, toys, just stupid stuff in their store that is not essential, and I get that. Clothes, food, medicines, hygienics, these things are able to be sold. But I've seen in some Walmarts that they're not letting people buy seeds to grow their own produce. How is that not an essential product in a time like this? Especially in a time like this when everything that I have just been talking about for the past 10 minutes is going on. Tell me, Walmart, why would you cut people off from creating their own gardens and helping to create you revenue? So, another little fact, I saw a video by a trucker, and this guy was sitting there in his truck for about 3 hours, and he videoed all these trucks that were waiting for hours before him. He was mentioning that trucks were lined up around the corner, all refrigerated tractor trailers, all waiting at a meatpacking plant. But the meatpacking plant wasn't putting anything out. Why? Because they had nobody working there, but yet they were still open. These companies are not offering PPE, hazard pay, anything like that, and we need them. We need them because we need to eat. We need to eat during this pandemic. We need to feed our children. We need to feed our loved ones. And all of this, especially looking at the fact that our administration, our federal government, is not helping to back the food industry to help feed us. And it seems like they're actually going against it for some odd, crazy reason. But for why? Like, why? It just doesn't make sense. Chicken wings. There's a surplus of chicken wings getting destroyed. I'll take chicken wings. How many people out there would love to just get a couple buckets of free chicken wings? Stop destroying food. We need to eat. There's going to come a time, if this keeps going on, that we are going to have to resort to our own basic instinctive ways to provide ourselves and our families and our loved ones with food. We cannot be foolish about food in a time like this, especially when the time like this could go on for the next year to 18 months, or until there's a viable antibiotic or a viable vaccination. This will go on. No one will be able to go back to work properly. No one will be able to open the economy properly on a full scale until there is either an antibiotic or a vaccination. Vaccination preferably. Everybody talking about testing and separation. It makes no sense. We need to worry about our food. We need to worry about feeding our citizens. Plain and simple. In a time like this. And worry about our testing and finding an antibiotic and then finding a vaccine. Well, I'm about done this cup of coffee. So I just wanted to talk about that. Food shortages. Please feel free to share this video. Comment below. Subscribe. Check it out. I'm going to start putting out more. I'm going to start doing some more research and everything, and getting some word out there. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm trying to show people the realization of what is going on and the realization of what could happen and what a future could look like if our government doesn't fully step up and interact with this in a viable, respectable, dignified way with fast positive results. And that's the problem that we have right now. I have statistics from every state all over. I have statistics from multiple countries all over, and looking at the rates of infections, looking at the rates of death, looking at the rates of recoveries as well. A lot of people don't talk about that over 440,000 individuals have recovered from this across the world. So, it just, yeah, I will be putting out more. I will be talking more about what I got going on and what I'm putting together. And like I said, please subscribe. Please check out what I'm putting together, trying to do this. I hope everybody out there is staying safe. I hope everybody out there is looking out for your loved ones and everything like that. If you want to, if anybody out there is in the mood or whatever to donate to redcross.org. They're doing great things to help food, and they're doing great things to help healthcare workers in New York, where the epicenter is, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, all the hot spots around the country. They're taking the funds and donating PPE and donating food to the healthcare workers and things like that. Put everything together. Redcross.org. Um, I'm gonna possibly, yeah, I'll talk about that in a different video. All right. Y'all have a good day. I'll see you later. Notes out.